it's amazing how you can be in the home physically but not actually be there present. Like, you're not truly mentally and emotionally there. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Gems and Pearls with Love. To all the new subscribers, thank you so very much for choosing to subscribe and join me on this journey of biblical womanhood. And to those who are returning, thank you so much for tuning in. So guys, I'm going to get right into today's topic, which basically I'm going to be talking about being a stay-at-home mom versus being a homemaker. So basically, what is the difference between the two? And before I really get any further in this, I want to make sure and put a disclaimer out there that I am speaking based off of my experience. I do not want anyone who calls herself a stay-at-home mom to feel like I'm trying to say that, hey, this is what all stay-at-home moms do, or this is what all stay-at-home moms do not do. I'm not saying that. Regardless if you call yourself a stay-at-home mom or a homemaker, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to say that this is my experience. This is what I experienced and what the responsibilities that I had and didn't have as a stay-at-home mom versus the ones that I took upon myself as a homemaker. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure it's clear that no one's going to get offended thinking that I'm trying to say that, trying to like put a sort of a label on stay-at-home moms or say that this is what they do and this is what they don't do. Like, I'm not trying to do that. This is just my experience and what I personally feel is the difference for me. Okay, so let's get into it. Back when I was a stay-at-home mom, that was quite a few years ago. I only had 3 children out of the 5 that I have now. And to be honest, I just did the bare minimum. Like, the bare minimum of what it was required to keep my home clean and to keep everything running. And it's funny because even as I say this, like, what I consider now to be the bare minimum is not my bare minimum back then. Like, it was a lot less. So basically, when it comes to, let's say, cleaning, like, it was just okay, obviously after the meals, you wash the dishes, you wipe your counters, you sweep, you're gonna mop, you're gonna vacuum, you're gonna do those normal things, but there wasn't really that much anything to it. I every once in a while, we did do, like, maybe like spring cleaning where we did a bit of a deeper cleaning where we actually throw away stuff and all of that, but beyond that, there wasn't really much to it. It was just more kind of cleaning as you go and just doing the bare minimum. At that time as well, there was no routine, there was no schedule, there was no organization. It was literally like, okay, just gonna go with the flow. Or usually, matter of fact, what I did used to do, what I was guilty of, would be just when I knew my husband was coming home, I would just rush and do like this big cleanup and to make sure at least he came home and the place was at least decent. So but there was no organization, there was no schedule, there was just nothing at all to it. It was just kind of just going with the flow. As much as I don't really care to admit it, I have to say I wasted a lot of time. Like, I spent most of my time either on my phone or watching TV. Like, it was just literally like just not really doing much at all. And I just thought that this is what it was. Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and there was just nothing else to it. There was no trying to create any atmosphere for the family. There was none of that. So that was basically my life as a stay-at-home mom. To be honest, I can't really remember exactly what it was that caused the transition between a stay-at-home mom to homemaker. Like, I don't know what exactly it was, but I know a few different things. I know reading Titus 2 and realizing that, this is not just something that I'm just choosing to do. This is something where this is my calling. This is my calling as a wife, as a mom, as a woman. This is my calling. So learning that and realizing that, wow, there's actually more to this than just me just thinking this is what I'm choosing to do. And now that I even mentioned choosing to do, another thing is when I was a stay-at-home mom, I just kind of felt like, I had to just kind of tell people, I'm just waiting until all my kids were in school, or, I just never embraced really being at home. I just felt this was something that I had to just say I'm just doing for now. Of course I'm going to eventually go and get a career. Of course I'm going to do that, because it was just this thing where, you felt kind of embarrassed and ashamed, thinking that this was wrong to be a stay-at-home mom. So that's something I also experienced at that time as well. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, transitioning to be a homemaker, it was first of all, realizing that this was a calling. This was not just simply me just choosing to stay home. And then reading books and watching videos, I would say, about homemaking and stuff like that, and realizing, wow, like there's a lot more to this. I was able to get to learn that being a homemaker is not only about cooking meals and cleaning. That's obviously a big part of it. You're at home and that's part of something that we do. However, it's so much more to that. You can pay somebody to cook, to clean. You can pay somebody to be a housekeeper. And that's a thing. And that I think that I had to come to realize that being a homemaker is so much more than being a housekeeper. Just doing the cleaning and the cooking. Like, there's so much more to that. It is a calling. It is a ministry. It is something where you actually care about the heart of your home. Like, you almost are the heart of your home. You set the atmosphere, right? Like, realizing that, wow, there's so much more to it than cooking and cleaning. Matter of fact, being a homemaker sometimes means that I put aside sometimes those dishes and let them wait while I sit down on the floor with my toddler and play with them, or I sit down while my daughter is opening her heart to me. Well, I'm being present, right? Being present and being available for my family, being able to, as my best as I can, try to show Christ to them in my home. Like, that is being a homemaker. It's so much more to the cleaning, the cooking. Sometimes that, like, cooking a big, elaborate home-cooked meal, that's great. But sometimes those things have to be put on hold for what is actually more important as a homemaker. Of course, now, cleaning, as I said, cooking, those type of things, of course, goes along with it, because, I mean, it's kind of hard to even create a nice, welcoming, loving, peaceful atmosphere when your house is a complete disaster and completely disorganized. People can't find their stuff. That's not going to create peace. You're going to be actually very stressed out in that type of atmosphere. So I had to realize that there were also things I need to learn about cleaning. And then I began to start to do routines and schedules. For me, I know schedules are not for everybody. For me, I prefer schedules. That helps me to stay organized, but I am very flexible with my schedule. So if I know, for example, maybe at 1 p.m., this is when I start to do some deep cleaning in such and such a room. At the end of the day, if my child or my husband needs me at that time to do something else, I am available. I'm okay with pushing things back. So I'm very flexible with my schedule, because you have to be. Like, at the end of the day, if you are a homemaker and you know that you're going to be the heart of this home, and you want to be present and available for your family, you are going to need to be flexible. If otherwise, you're going to be there stressed out, looking at the time, oh my God, time's running out. Listen, I can't talk right now. I'm doing this. We don't want to be doing that, right? We want to be available. We want to remember that it's the family that makes it a home, right? I'd rather have some mess, right, and a little bit of chaos, and know that my family is happy, than to have a spotless home and everybody feels ignored. Everybody feels dismissed. Then in that case, it's like I defeated the whole purpose. So yes, scheduling is something that I personally do. I like to schedule things. I'm going to go into more detail in another video about some things that I do in order to try to keep the place clean, to keep the place organized. Basically, long story short, I have certain days of the week when I focus on certain rooms of the house, when I do deep cleaning in that specific room. And I have a system when it comes to laundry and stuff like that. I have system and scheduling and times and a lot of organization put into place now, whereas before, as I said, it was just more kind of a go with the flow type of thing. And this helps me personally. This is something that I actually really need in order to keep on top of things. If I just go with the flow a little too much, and I don't have any sort of set things, I don't have a to-do list of things, then I'm going to end up sitting down endlessly scrolling on my phone, or something that I just should not be doing. And when I say I should not be doing, I more just mean that there's other things that I should be doing with my time first. Of course, I have time where I relax, and that's the thing about homemaking too. It's not just about being super busy and jam-packing your day full of activities and full of like a huge never-ending to-do list where you're constantly busy. No, again, it's about being present. It's also about being able to slow down. It's about being able to have that time to just sit down and read a book, whether I'm reading a book by myself while the kids are napping, or I'm reading a book with the children, or we're just sitting down and talking, having conversations, being present, putting that phone down. I actually had times of the day where I tell myself I'm not allowed to be on my phone, right? To make sure that I am present, to make sure that I am being productive throughout the day. So that was really the big difference. So that's the difference between the two for me. It was versus just being there, doing what I feel like doing when I want to do it, and not really getting all that much done, and not really being that productive, and not really being that present. It's amazing how you can be in the home physically, but not actually be there present. Like, you're not truly mentally and emotionally there. And when I choose now as a homemaker, I choose to be mentally and emotionally there, available for my family. There's the home, there to set the atmosphere. Realizing that instead of looking at it just a chore, looking at it as a joy and literally my ministry to my family. So guys, that is the difference for me between being when I was a stay-at-home mom versus when I chose to take on the title of homemaker. Let me know if any of you guys can relate to that. Again, I'm not saying that all stay-at-home moms just sit on their butts like I was doing. I'm not saying that. You may be a stay-at-home mom and do all the things that I do as a homemaker. If that's just what you call yourself, which is perfectly fine. Just share my experience, guys. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so very much for watching. Okay, bye-bye.